Hi everybody, my name is Teresa Emanuele. I'm the art director of the Galleria dell'Orologio in Rome. I'm here with Stefano Francis Spelar, whose first art exhibition we're hosting at this very moment. And we're here to find out more about his art, about his colors, about his techniques. So tell me about it.
Okay, you're hosting my first personal exhibit, which is, if you like, a space in which 33 of my art pieces are exhibited, and they're very colorful, and there's a lot of collage, there's pastiche, there's techniques that vary and differ. There's a lot of referential work, even though I paint in a referential way and I appropriate myself with techniques of masters to communicate my own artistic feelings and emotions. It's highly instinctive painting, somewhat burlesque, somewhat infantile. All the same, I hope I managed to pass some kind of emotion along to the viewers.
Indeed you do.
Thanks. I started painting in school when I was tiny. I went to St. George's English School of Rome, and there's an art program there, so I started playing around with powders and paint, and I worked with clay, I worked on the spinners, and I did craft design technology in school, which taught me how to work with plastic and solvents and adhesives. So that, I guess, was my head start on using my hands and craft work. I went to the American University of Paris, where I took various classes in art, in literature. I graduated in international communications, and I focused on visual communications, where understanding how meaning is created with images, with photography, with painting, and generally how meaning is constructed in the study of semiotics. And I think that's when I started looking at many art pieces in many museums, and I started contaminating myself with what art is, I guess. I took a photography course in Parsons, and I spent some time looking at artwork in general, and I started questioning myself about how certain art was made. So I took a few classes about materials and techniques of the masters, and when I came back to Rome, I started painting on canvas. I'd always had little notebooks where I'd write poetry and draw, and I always did graffiti art on the walls in bathrooms. I was one of those bad boys. And after that, I started painting on canvas, and it just grew on me, and I have a lot of work now. It's 6 or 7 years of cumulative work, some of which, many pieces I have sold, many I still have, many are in your gallery. And after this exhibit, I realized how important art is for me. It was always part of my secret life. Most of my hours were spent painting. I mean, for many years I wouldn't go out and just stay home and paint, and now it's become something that's professional for me. I mean, I'm very happy about that. Many of my works include words and iconic, for example, combs and bags, and there's little cars. I use shower tubes in my self-portrait to make my eyes. There's a variety of pieces, objects that come from everyday life that are applied to my paintings, and I somewhat try to create a new meaning by destroying their everyday connotations, and applying these objects to specific art discussions, if you like, that are made with colors and geometries and what have you.
How does it happen? You said you play around, so you're there with your canvas in front of you?
Yes.
And do you have your idea in mind, or does it happen while you're doing it?
Well,
What's the story of your paintings?
I have an idea in mind, definitely. What I usually do, I keep my canvas on the floor, so I could be called, like, what I do could be called action painting. I keep it on the floor and I set out all my colors and the objects I think I'll apply on the canvas, and that comes from an idea that I somewhat managed to capture from someone. And then in the act of painting, sometimes just the use of specific objects evolves my idea, turns it into something that is related to what I initially had in mind, but sometimes gets better. Sometimes, of course, it doesn't. And I mean, I don't get a great piece of art. But often what happens is, when the painting works out, the objects and the colors I choose become something more once they're on canvas. And once I've put myself and them together on a canvas. And I like that because it sort of teaches me in the first place how many things that we relate to in everyday life can have a bunch of different connotations and can even look very beautiful in the context of a variety of colors, or like things that you'd never think were art, once they're embedded within a painting, become highly artistic, and you're like, wow, I touch that every day, I have that around me every day, but now that it's on my painting, it's art.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredible. I mean, we underestimate a lot of what we're in touch with every day. We just take it for granted.